It's time I start publishing my thoughts. We live in bizarro world where whether left or right, it's two extremes. I will podcast my journey in an attempt to find some sense of normalcy. An equilibrium if you will, but through the lens of all things man. I Am Man Episode 1. Women's sports and why the disparity in pay between men and women. For example, the WNBA. I came across this question while surfing the net. And it is a rather common question that has been circulating. Why are women's basketball players not paid as much as men? This question can splinter into so many tangents of pay wage gaps, sexism, do trans people preserve the right to participate in women's sports? Can women do everything men do or even better? Do women even need men to survive, which is definitely a topic for another time. For now I will try to just focus on the WNBA. You know why most guys don't go to the WNBA games? It's not really the theatrics cause, we have men's basketball for that. If we want to see intensely physical defense, or 360 dunks, and shots from half court, we can tune into LeBron James, Steph Curry, or DeMarcus Cousins for that matter. Wasn't it Brittany Griner who made that outlandish statement that she could beat DeMarcus Cousins one-on-one? You don't think that places a wedge between the sexes when you try to come at our male athletes with contempt? Why then would we feel inclined to support you when you are faced with the dilemma you're in, for example BG in Russia right now? I'd have to say it's because of this constant vitriol most players in the WNBA, we men feel disconnected to all the feminist rhetoric we have to deal with when it comes to all these butch bull daggers. They are man-eaters and despise men, and we pick up on that energy. So why would we subject ourselves to buying tickets going to a game where they are combative towards us, and the whole time trying to prove how they are better than us? Like seriously. And I used to love the soccer girls at my college and volleyball, and I used to hoop with the girls in college, giving them male competition. And it was dope cause they still possessed a bit of femininity. Back in the day I used to love women's basketball because they play like the Golden State Warriors, with fundamental passing. And that lightest ball allows them to shoot at a high percentage. I'm not saying back in the day they had more people watching, but at least the guys on the team would sit in the bleachers and cheer for the girls. Oftentimes in junior college the girls would have their game against the same school at 5:30, and the guys' game was at 7:30, so we would stroll in the gym and chill in the bleachers, and it was a cool vibe watching the girls play. But now it seems like feminist and man-eater lesbians alienated themselves from the core group of men who actually did watch the games. So clearly, lower ticket sales leads to a loss, where the arena doesn't profit enough to hold the event. So then the events get consolidated to a more compact schedule of games that they feel enough people will show up. Ultimately that means these WNBA teams are not as commercially successful, therefore even reducing the amount of team merchandise being sold. Less merchandise means less sponsorships. Can you see the domino effect here? And whole time, these so-called women's rights activists, or blue-haired feminists don't even care to support women's games. Now I don't like to present a problem without attempting to find a solution. I honestly believe I already gave a great solution in the process of explaining the dilemma in the first place. It's very simple. Either fill the arena with blue-haired feminists who really don't even like sports like that to begin with, and just argue a talking point for the sake of being combative. Or really make an effort to repair the relationship between the sexes, and present a more inviting atmosphere to the games. And there are thousands of professional basketball leagues across the entire globe, and those men also only get a fraction of what the NBA players receive. So it's not a bias against the female species more than it is a lack of interest, and until you figure the solution, or in the case where I already have a viable solution, until you arrive at this solution and make the effort to repair relations and subsequently increase your male audience who already love the sport of basketball by the way, you will continue to be disgruntled. It's pretty much all I can say on that note. And with that being said, hope you enjoyed my first audio commentary of all things men, and tune in to find out when the next episode drops. Until then, peace in the Middle East. Oh yeah, by the way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and if you have any topics of any and all things concerning men you'd like to hear my thoughts on, write them in the comments as well, and I will try to address them sooner than later. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share my content on all platforms if you dig and want to support the machine. That would definitely drive me to bring you even more.